Sharina Hudson getting out of my car with my money. Life is not what you think it is behind the scenes. Trust me. Homegirl is miserable. Like,
was a serial cheater. Kevin had different mistresses depending on, the part of his life. This last one was the one that he had the longest term.
Looks like karma's got Sharina and Kevin on speed dial again. These two just can't seem to catch a single break. Kevin's been drowning in lawsuits, reportedly maxing out credit cards left and right and owing stacks of cash to several banks. He even had to unload their fancy mansion in those flashy cars just to keep up with the bills. Ever since Wendy's alimony payments stopped rolling in, it's been nothing but pure financial chaos for the couple. But hold up, it gets even messier. Word just came out that Sharina's being sued by TJ Maxx for allegedly defaulting on her $3,000 store card. $3,000 might have felt like nothing back when the money was flowing, but now it's dragging her straight into court. Can you believe that? And here's the kicker. While Sharina and Kevin are out here scrambling to stay afloat, Wendy's reportedly living it up in Florida, relaxed and saying this whole situation is karma in motion. People are whispering that she's been watching their downfall with a grin, and honestly, who could blame her?
So I'm not gonna take a lot of time because, I'm getting emotional. And I told myself I wasn't gonna do this. Nobody, and I mean nobody, will ever bring the energy, the charisma, the passion, the expertise, the talent, and whatever else you want to call it, like you seen Kelvin Hunter and my ex, Wendy Williams.
After everything that went down, this feels like the universe finally evening the score. Now, before things get even crazier, let's rewind and unpack how it all fell apart. This whole storm started brewing back in 2019 when Wendy finally hit her breaking point and filed for divorce from Kevin. And wow, it got messy fast. Turns out Kevin wasn't just sneaking around, he was deep in a full-blown affair with Sharina. And to make things even worse, he had a baby with her. Wendy reportedly already knew about his cheating ways, but what completely shattered her was finding out that Kevin had secretly fathered a child with Sharina behind her back. That was it, the final straw that blew everything apart. The moment she found out, Wendy wasted no time. Divorce papers were filed, Kevin got the boot as a manager, and she shut that whole chapter down in record time. It was like she wiped her life clean overnight. But here's where it gets even juicier. While this scandal was blowing up, Sharina's own family turned against her. They didn't just keep quiet, they actually stood with Wendy and blasted Sharina for wrecking her marriage. Her uncle didn't mince words. He said she should know right from wrong and even dragged her for leaving her hometown in South Carolina, not even for the holidays. That's some cold truth right there. And as if things weren't already wild enough, the court decided Wendy had to pay Kevin alimony, which became his main source of income. Imagine that, the man who betrayed her walking away with her money. What a jaw-dropper of a twist. Meanwhile, Sharina was out here acting like everything was perfect, trying to live the luxury life by starting business after business that all ended up crashing hard. Kevin was right by her side, pouring his cash into every dream. He even paid for her to go to school to become a massage therapist, got her a little mall kiosk in North Carolina, and helped her launch a jewelry and clothing line called Vish. But guess what? Every single one of those ventures went down in flames. Kevin tried to flip his own luck too. He opened up a barbershop, but that went down just as bad as the rest. And here's the real tea. Every single one of those business moves was being fueled by Wendy's money. Yep, all those failed ventures, fancy setups, and big dreams were paid for with the very checks Wendy was cutting. Despite everything crumbling behind the scenes, Sharina and Kevin were still out here stunting like they were living the high life. Designer fits, luxury trips, expensive rides, all while barely lifting a finger to actually earn it. And come on, if you know Wendy, then you know she wasn't about to let that slide in silence. She threw some serious shade, saying the reason Sharina's businesses kept tanking was plain as day. She's not smart and has no clue how to run a business. That was a brutal hit, but Wendy didn't hold back one bit. But Wendy's revenge didn't stop there. When her talk show got canceled, she slammed the brakes on those alimony payments completely, and that's when Kevin started spiraling. Suddenly, the man who once flaunted wealth was scraping for cash, unable to keep up the flashy lifestyle he and Sharina had built around Wendy's money. Things got so desperate that he actually hauled Wendy back to court, claiming those alimony checks were his only income and that he was flat out broke. What a major downfall for someone who once had it all. According to court papers snagged by the U.S. Sun, Kevin himself laid everything out, plain and clear. He said, "I have fallen behind on most of my bills. I currently live in a community that requires payments to the Homeowners Association, and I'm behind on that bill. If the Homeowners Association fees are not paid, foreclosure will soon follow. My car insurance hasn't been paid as a result of not receiving monthly severance payments. I'm behind on credit card payments because I have no money. Since the severance payments were suspended, my life has been greatly affected since the plaintiffs stopped making payments under our settlement agreement." Now this right here is just unbelievable. This man was living it up off Wendy's money, dripping in luxury, and didn't save a single dollar for himself, not one. Kevin and Sharina really thought they had a lifetime pass to Wendy's wallet, like she was just gonna bankroll their lifestyle forever. Talk about bad planning. But here's where the plot flipped. The moment Kevin tried taking his sob story to court, the judge wasn't having it. They looked over his request and basically said, absolutely not. The ruling was crystal clear. His case wasn't considered an emergency, and it got tossed without prejudice. That's legal talk for "you're not getting a dime, case dismissed." What a major downfall for Kevin. So that brings us to the real question. How in the world did Wendy manage to shut off those alimony checks and walk away without facing any penalty? Let's unpack that, because it's pure strategy.
Turns out, Wendy had this whole thing locked down from the jump. She made sure there was a clause written right into their divorce agreement that said she'd only have to keep paying Kevin as long as the Wendy Williams show was still running. So when her show got canceled due to her health issues, that clause activated. Boom! No show, no money owed. That meant she didn't have to send Kevin another penny, not one dime. And honestly, that's what you call a power move. And for anyone thinking Wendy might have to start cutting checks again once she gets back to work, nope, not happening. The divorce agreement spelled it out crystal clear. Those payments only applied if Wendy was working in mainstream television. And judging by her recent social media moves, she's not heading back to daytime TV anytime soon. She's shifting gears and gearing up for podcasting instead. Which means Kevin, he's officially out of luck for good. Meanwhile, things have been falling apart fast for Kevin and Sharina. They had to unload their Florida mansion for around $1.2 million just to keep their heads above water. And get this, Kevin reportedly took out a loan from a company called Flex Wealth just to finance 2 luxury cars. And now he's stuck trying to cover those payments solo. No Wendy money to lean on this time. But that's not the end of his problems. He's also being sued by UBS Bank for skipping out on his credit card payments, with the total allegedly running well into 5 figures. That's a serious stack of debt hanging over his head. And just when people thought Kevin was the only one getting hit from all sides, boom, Sharina's name pops up too. She's now reportedly being sued by TJ Maxx, and online whispers say even more lawsuits might be heading her way soon. My girl Miss Chronicles came through with the receipts, posting real court documents showing Sharina's in deep financial trouble, owing over $3,000 on her TJ Maxx card. The paperwork even shows she was supposed to have it all paid off by March 27, 2023, but she hasn't made a single payment since. Things are looking real shaky for that couple right now. After everything fell apart, Sharina tried her best to act unbothered online, posting pics of fancy dinners, luxury handbags, and high-end outfits like life was still sweet. But fans weren't fooled for a second. The comment section lit up with people calling her out, saying she was putting on a show and pretending to live a lifestyle she clearly couldn't afford anymore. Word on the street is, most of those glam photos were old, taken months before their finances crashed. Talk about keeping up appearances. Meanwhile, Kevin's been ghosting the spotlight, barely seen out in public. Insiders say he's been stressing non-stop, trying to figure out how to juggle all that debt now that Wendy's made it crystal clear she's never sending him another penny. Some reports even claim he's been pitching new business ideas to potential investors, but nobody's biting. The same people who used to cheer him on and ride his coattails have suddenly vanished into thin air. Online, people are calling this straight up karma in 4K,
saying Kevin and Sharina are finally living the reality they built for themselves. That so-called luxury lifestyle they love to flex is completely falling apart. The designer bags, the cars, the trips, it's all gone, and they're left facing the fallout head on. Crazy thing is, the kind of money they're stressing over now used to be pocket change for them, until Wendy slammed the door shut on those alimony checks. And speaking of Wendy, her longtime bestie, Miss Jones, yeah, Jonesy from 94.7, just dropped some fresh updates on what Wendy's been up to lately. And if that name sounds familiar, she's the same one who once exposed Kevin for allegedly trying to send a hitman after her over his messy drama with Wendy. But that wild story, that's a whole other situation we'll save for another time. Recently, Miss Jones showed up at Wendy's place just to check in because no one had heard a peep from her in a while. But here's the update. According to Wendy's doorman, she quietly packed her things and slipped away to Florida a few weeks ago with her son Kevin Hunter Jr. Word is, she just wanted some real peace, a little sunshine, and a break from all the chaos Sharina and Kevin have been stirring up.
Now brace yourself, because this next part is wild. Sources are saying Sharina's out here straight up blaming Wendy for her financial mess in that lawsuit. Apparently, she's been telling people that if Wendy hadn't stopped those alimony payments, none of this drama would be happening. Like, seriously? You can't make this up. People are saying Sharina has completely lost it. How do you take another woman's man, blow through her hard-earned money on a bunch of failed business ideas, live off her success for years, and then have the nerve to turn around and blame her when your own finances fall apart? The internet went crazy over this one, calling Sharina delusional and saying she's giving full-on unhinged vibes. And honestly, they're not wrong. One comment online really hit deep. Someone said Wendy's still that girl, and she can absolutely make a huge comeback when she's ready. Ever since she stepped out of the spotlight back in 2020, no one's truly taken her place. They reminded everyone that Wendy deserves to take her time, focus on healing, and return on her own terms, because real strength isn't in how fast you bounce back, it's in how strong you rise. And then came the shade of the century. Another commenter posted, "You know you're broke when you can't even pay off a $3,000 TJ Maxx bill." Whew, that one stung. The internet didn't hold back, and Sharina's been getting roasted non-stop ever since. But now, I gotta ask, what's your take on this whole mess? Do you think Sharina's really lost it by blaming Wendy for her money problems, or is this just another chapter in their never-ending drama? Could this finally be the end for Sharina and Kevin, or will they find a way to stir the pot again? Drop your thoughts down below. I'm ready to hear all of it. And before you bounce, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Star Watch so you don't miss what's coming next. Because trust me, the next story is about to be even messier.